Lawyers at this St. John's law firm have heard from at least 24 more abuse survivors in recent months. People who've lived with trauma for decades and never told their story until now.
I've met with new clients as far as BC, other provinces in between, spoken with new clients from the US. They're wherever Newfoundlanders have scattered.
There are now more than 200 claimants, and Budden represents more than half of them.
It's anybody who has been abused by a Christian brother, a priest, or another individual associated with the archdiocese.
The Episcopal Corporation is the business arm of the Archdiocese of St. John's. The courts have ruled the corporation is liable for the sexual abuse that occurred at Mount Cashel and by members of the clergy. The abuse, in many cases, dates back decades, carried out by church leaders in a position of trust.
The betrayal of that in a really quite gross and frightening way obviously would rattle a person.
The victims range in age from 40 to over 90.
They were utterly shocked and betrayed, and their whole worldview in many cases was quite shattered.
The court has imposed a publication ban on their identities. The corporation has been in bankruptcy protection for nearly 2 years as it sells off churches, parish halls, schools, and other assets in order to raise money for victims. It's resulted in a dramatic shakeup in the Archdiocese, fewer churches, and frustrated Catholics, and a new reality for a once powerful religious institution. So far, the sell-off has raised about $45 million, and there's likely more to come, with anywhere from 25 to 40% of that money going to lawyers like Budden, who has spent nearly 3 decades pursuing justice for abuse victims.
I feel that we will see adequate financial compensation as the law defines that.
Victims have to complete a proof of claim in order to be eligible for compensation.
I think if somebody comes forward October 2nd, they're probably going to be out of luck in getting compensation from the Archdiocese.
Experts are now evaluating individual claims to determine the level of compensation, with money expected to flow early next year. Average payouts are not yet known, but Geoff Budden says they will be north of $100,000 each. Terry Roberts, CBC News, St. John's.